Never heard of a killer. I drop bombs like Hiroshima.
So I said, look at LeakYou video. What the fuck is LeakYou? Is it like a site? What's LeakYou? LeakYou. Is it a YouTube channel? Oh shit. Oh, I bet. Here we go.
Please hit the like. Thank you.
One, two, three, four.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. First thing this morning when I woke up, first thing I thought of, wow, it's September 11th. It is September 11th. And where I was, the infamous World Trade Center attacks happened on September 11th. And I always tend to find myself watching news footage of the day of that day, right? As it happened, kind of thing. I always end up finding myself watching that at least once a year. And that's been on top of my mind. And of course, I'm sure many of you, as I can see, you guys are in here on Twitter in droves. I don't even know why I stream on YouTube anymore. I might as well just stream on Twitter only. Many of you are very interested in the story of Charlie Kirk and his assassination that occurred yesterday in Utah. He was, my understanding is he did make it to a hospital and they tried to do surgery on him, but he was gone. And from the images, I mean, he had a lot of blood loss. And so there's a lot of conversation happening. You know, when it comes to like emotions, when you're dealing with an emotionally charged crowd, college campuses are right up there. They really are. You know, people are finding themselves in life. They're developing themselves, developing into the adults that they want to be, the adult human beings that they want to be. And so, you know, that age, when you're that age, you know, a lot of very profound things happen. So, it's a very emotionally charged place to give a speech or to give a talk or to provide comments or commentary or debate commentary the way that Charlie Kirk did. Let's be clear. I am not celebrating the murder of Charlie Kirk. I'm definitely not celebrating it. You know, but I would be a liar if I told you that I was sitting over here mourning. I would be, it would be so dishonest of me to say that. And, you could say it's my background, whether it's religion, whatever my racial background may be, whatever. No, it was just some of the things, a lot of the things that Charlie Kirk had to say, period. I didn't agree with almost everything Charlie Kirk said, but at the same time, you all be mindful of getting online and celebrating something like this. Keep in mind, people are watching you, including wherever you're employed at. Things like that, just be very mindful. Now, just, a little bit of news here. Charlie Kirk's body has been, and I don't feel bad about saying I'm not mourning over here either. Again, freedom of speech, right? Yeah, freedom of speech. Charlie would be number one to say it's okay to express a freedom of speech. So, don't feel bad about certain feelings that you may have or expressing certain feelings that you have. Just think a few minutes before acting would be my advice to people. But again, Charlie Kirk's body has been returned to Arizona. Air Force Two took his body back to Arizona. There was an entire procession that happened. My understanding is I believe that Charlie Kirk's going to be cremated, but there's going to be a funeral for Charlie Kirk. And yes, expect President Donald Trump to be there, as well as Vice President J.D. Vance, who also was with Air Force Two and with Charlie Kirk's family as his body was returned back to Arizona. From Utah. Utah Valley University is where he was shot. He had been again speaking to a large crowd at a Prove Me Wrong debate. He invites people, students, to challenge his political and cultural views. And he was in the process of doing this debate / challenge and having a back and forth with the second person when this incident happened. There is a person of interest. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Yesterday, I know that there was rumors of them having someone in custody, but it turned out that they didn't have the proper person in custody. And after they did, a very quick investigation and some interrogation, they was able to determine that was not the person. And there was someone that they had arrested whose pants had fell down, an older gentleman who was taken off the Utah Valley campus by police officers. But there is a person of interest. There is shots, meaning video shots, photos of this person, and they appeared to be on an academic building about 200 feet away when this happened. And this person was spotted when this incident happened. Prior to, there's a video floating around of what appears to be someone laying on their stomach. It's what it looked like to me. Laying on their stomach. I mean, you really couldn't barely see. It was just the angle of the body, how it looked like, the person was laying on their stomach, which they would have probably had to have been doing in order to shoot a shot like this. Listen, this was, and when it comes to marksman abilities, absolute crazy, crazy shot that this person took in order to assassinate Charlie Kirk. Again, he was shot in the neck. And it makes one think, is there some sort of was this a paid political assassination of Charlie Kirk? Did someone pay to have this done? Or was this someone that was just so upset about things that he has said and they acted on their feelings? There's, what I was going to go into is something that I noticed, and I noticed this probably like the third or fourth time I watched the video, the up close video of his assassination. Yes, I've seen it. there was something on Charlie's shirt. It looked like a clipped-on microphone, and it looks like it jumped off and hit him in the neck, where in that area, it really, really looked like that microphone went into his neck. And I was like, "What in the world?" And, between that and the wedding ring changing fingers. So weird. So weird. You don't know what I mean? Just go on Twitter and look. You'll see what I'm saying. So weird. I don't know how one's wedding ring switches hands, okay? But it did, or switches fingers on the hand, but it somehow did. Um, but there was a black object on the right side of his shirt. When that shot went off, it literally hit him in the neck, exactly in the area that his wound started, where his wound was. And I found that to be so odd. And I started thinking about when Israel told us about how they modified or modded electronic devices and blew them up and killed a bunch of Hamas members. Remember that? They laced explosives into walkie-talkies, into cell phones. And when these phones rang, they blew up and killed multiple people that were members of Hamas. And I started thinking, well, they haven't got anyone in custody. Is it possible that that microphone or whatever that is on his shirt, is it possible that it was laced with some sort of an explosive and it blew up and, hit his neck? I mean, it would have also sounded like a gunshot potentially too, right? But then today we got photos, because there was no proof yesterday, just based on that one video that was floating around. Then we actually got photos of what appears to be a man dressed in all black climbing down from the building that it's alleged this shot came from, and a bolt action rifle has been discovered in the woods right outside of Utah Valley College that they say is the rifle that was used to kill Charlie Kirk. Law authorities, or I should say authorities, are asking the public for help in identifying the individual. And they say that they have good video footage of the suspect again, and they also recovered the weapon that was used in the shooting. Now, it's already been stated that Utah will be pursuing the death penalty in any potential case that moves forward. This from Utah Governor Spencer Cox. I mean, it's already been decided. Whoever did this, if arrested, will have a fight for their life. And, Spencer already said, hey, we're working with our attorneys. We're getting everything that we need. We're getting affidavits ready so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case. And there's a lot of conversation online about Black people, white people, where they stand with all of this. Hey, Gloria, good to see you. And I'm just not going to talk about this on lines of color. I'm not. There are some, regardless of their color, Black, white, brown, whatever, feel that he got what he deserved. Some feel that, he shouldn't have been shot. He didn't get what he deserved. This was a, horrible tragedy, etc. But there are feelings on both sides. And the truth is, when you use your freedom of speech as a weapon, like Charlie Kirk did, there are cons to that, aka consequences. Yeah, freedom of speech is supposed to be freedom of speech. But is it? Is it really? I mean, it may not have costed you a penny, a dime, a nickel, a dollar to say what you wanted to say. But I think the worst thing one could do is, hurt somebody's feelings or set something in motion when it comes to people's emotions, because people will stand on whatever their emotions are feeling, and they do things. And they've said writing is the language of the unheard. Well, what is assassinating someone the language of then? And I'm gonna be honest, I really cringe when I hear people say things like he was like a MLK. Um, in only one way, that he used his mouth, his voice to say what it is that he wanted to say, which was not very popular to some people. Again, it's just very cringe, some of the things that he has said. And I'm gonna tell you something else I seen that really made me do a double take yesterday. There was somebody on Twitter, a poster. He had, I don't know, 8,000 likes on a Twitter post that they made. And in this post, it was talking about the murder of the Ukrainian lady that happened in Chicago. And it was calling the guy that did that a nigger. Blatant as fuck on Twitter. And instead of Twitter taking that post down or doing something about that post, it got 8,000 likes. I wasn't going to hit like. I didn't even want to track that particular post and see what it was at. I just thought it was so disgusting. But it's stuff like that, man. It's stuff like that. Blatant freaking racism. And I'm not sorry to say this, but Charlie Kirk had some, to me, racist ass views and opinions on things. And I don't have to like it. But I'm not celebrating, okay? Definitely not celebrating his murder. He had a family, you guys, a wife, 2 kids. And so, with that all being said, I want to take a look at some of this video footage that is coming out of Utah. There's another video that appears to have dropped showing whomever this suspect is jumping off of this building after the shot rang out against Charlie Kirk. This guy had on a black shirt. He had on a black hat, sunglasses. Matter of fact, I was going to see if anybody could tell what the heck it was on this guy's shirt. Did you guys see his shirt? It had like a big flag. It looks like maybe like an eagle or something like that on his shirt. And this is the suspect. And guess what? He's not black. Your suspect is not black. That's another thing that some people are saying today. Gun violence took this man out who spent a lot of time putting the face of crime on. Period. He did. That's just a fact with his free speech. And it appears there was someone of a lighter element that took him out. And it looks like somebody actually walked past him, too, in the hallway. Looks like this person got quite a few shots of this guy, whomever this man is. He looks to be a man. That found his way on the roof of that academic building. I don't know if he stashed the gun there the night before. Who knows? But this is actually a really And there's a lot of really clear shots of this guy, whomever he is. He almost looked Asian in a way, but it's hard to tell. He doesn't look like he looks young. He looks like someone of a college age. Is there somebody with this description that goes to this college? I highly doubt it. This is probably something that has been being planned for quite some time. This person instinctively turned away from the cameras so that the cameras couldn't get a great shot. But what is that on the shirt? That's an American flag, and it looks like an eagle. And I almost wanted to, say at the bottom, it almost looked like it says Harley Davidson, but I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure. But an interesting shirt. Looks like he has on Converses, like some gray Converses, which are some very popular shoes, right? With a backpack. Who knows? He could have put that bolt action rifle together, right there on the roof. It could have been what was in the backpack. Who knows? But this is the suspect. Who is seen there jumping down off the top of that academic building. Who is still free as of tonight. After managing to shoot and kill Charlie Kirk from quite a distance away. And again, they're already talking about the death penalty. And there was even a lot of conversation happening about some of the people that were standing near Charlie Kirk. You know how the conspiracy theories will begin to pop up? They claimed that people were making hand signs, visual hand signs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know who the people were standing next to Charlie Kirk, but I'm sure, or you want to hope that the police will, do their thorough investigation. But could this end up turning into some strange situation, almost like the Unabomber killer, where, you got a guy living in the middle of freaking nowhere, hiding out from authorities? I mean, this is somebody that, nah, you think they'll take them alive if they do catch the person? I mean, makes you wonder, will they take him alive? He's already facing the death penalty. If he lets himself be taken alive, will he allow himself to be taken alive, is the question. But there was definitely some video photos that came off showing whoever this is on the rooftop when this happened. So, you all, the temperature of American politics is so hot right now. And I've said this and I'll say it again. The attempt on Donald Trump's life to assassinate him, and you all recall that. That could have been Donald Trump with a bullet in his neck, right? When you've got people that are bold enough to shoot at someone who's been a sitting president, even though he was campaigning at the time to get back into the presidency, I'm telling you, when that assassination attempt happened on Trump, in my opinion, that sealed and solidified him getting the White House again. He survived the assassination attempt, and I'm telling you, that put him in office the second time, unfortunately. My political views are what they are. And I can't believe that we're dealing with the Donald Trump presidency too. But again, I really feel like the attempt on his life gave him the presidency. So I thought, what a horrible thing, to try to kill the man. And boom, he gets the presidency anyway, which is something that the killer was trying to stop. You all but guaranteed that. So, I mean, is there a potential group of people going out and, performing political assassinations? What is happening? Or is this a situation of somebody operating off of high emotion who did not like Charlie Kirk for some of the things that he has said? Scary time in America. Very scary time in America. Shout out to the LeakYou community. Please join us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music.
Please hit the like. Thank you.
More to come on this, right? More to come. I would never be someone that would, be climbing on top of buildings trying to assassinate, people, regardless of whatever it is. But I know one thing: whoever this is, who is, the manhunt is on for, looking for. I wonder if he'll be taken alive. I really do. Especially knowing that he's already going to be facing the death penalty. Is he going to try to kill himself? I can't help but to think about that. Then you've got people walking out here that don't even see him jumping off from, the top of this building. But yeah, people did notice whoever this was on top of that building. I think it's natural after they, the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. I think people are just kind of naturally looking at stuff like that now, but not everybody. Out of sight, out of mind type thing. But guys, I'll continue to follow this. I appreciate each and every one of you. And Gloria, I wonder that too. Is there like some group of people out there that are hell-bent on political assassinations? Because this seems like a professional hit. Hitting somebody in the neck like that from 200 feet away. You have to have some pretty good marksman skills to do that. You really do. Someone has to know what they are doing. So yeah, this will be a very interesting story to follow. Continue to follow. Again, the atmosphere in politics in America is as gloomy and dreary today, more gloomy and dreary today than it's ever been. Until next time, everyone.
The judgment sentence that you are an asshole. The trial is over. Thank you, everybody.
Let's play a game. You have 10 seconds to take all your stuff and get out of my life. 10, 9, 8.
God bless you, motherfucker.
You're really smart. Like really, really, really smart like I am.